supply. Okay, yes, the supply here was a bit higher, but you can still see how price fell from that zone. Price fell from that zone, right? So that is definitely a significant level. I see somebody's asking me to let them in, but I've admitted everybody. Let me just say that. One sec. Oh, maybe they joined the wrong link. Okay, cool. But yeah, so essentially, in order to find a good, strong zone, number one, higher time frame. Number two, remember your highs and lows of your extreme range. Okay, so when we speak of extreme, we're talking about the highest point and the lowest point, and we are looking, why did the market fall from that level? Okay, for example, this is your trading range. So now we've got at the zone, why did the market start falling? Okay. Previous demand, turn supply. So now we can say that that zone has a significant strength behind it because it's previously been used as demand and now been used as supply. Whereas we would do the same thing for our buys. The market started buying off of this level. Okay, so when the market came back to the zone, we can see why it was used as demand. All of this internal structure is going to just be happening on a smaller time frame. So you're going to be looking at your different ranges. As you could see, this was previously a high and a low, and that's why this zone then got used as supply and demand. Okay, it's just different structures. So number one, pay attention to your higher time frame. Number two, check that it has significance on a different time frame or a different, the same time frame, but a different level. Check that it's had movement there before. Does that make sense?
Ali, I think
Ali?
Yes?
Is your screen? Oh, it's fine, never mind. It's just the screen was freezing the whole time, like we couldn't see anything.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Let me try that again. Okay, cool. So
okay.
What I was just explaining.
Ali, can I ask you before?
Yes.
Can I ask you before you just repeat the same thing? Wouldn't be a good idea of on how to spot a supply and demand by looking at the momentum of the market?
At the what?
At the momentum.
At the momentum. Yes, I mean, definitely you would definitely know like your direction and your bias. Okay, that's without a doubt. You need to know that regardless. Okay, but when it comes to supply and demand, so here we can see the momentum is bullish because the market's taking out highs. Okay, the market's taking out highs.
No.
But when it comes to your structure, right, you've got a low and you've got a high.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the extreme ones, what I explained, excuse me, okay, the extreme ones is where you're going to ask yourself the question, why did the market just buy off of this level? Why did the market buy here at 32,480? Okay, why did the market buy here? So we're going to mark out this point, which is the last push to the downside, okay? And we are going to look to the left-hand side as to whether it is significant or not. Okay, now we can see previously we had big movements off of the zone, okay, as demand and as supply. Okay, so now it's given us confluence. Remember, guys, you don't just trade, you've got to have confluence for everything. You've got to have more than one reason. You have to have multiple reasons as to why you are getting involved in the market. Okay, so that comes along with everything that we're teaching you. We are teaching you the different confluences in order to be successful traders. Okay, so now you've got confluence that this demand zone held very strongly before. So when the market comes back to it, that is potentially where you can be looking for buys. Okay, now you're going to ask yourself the question, but why did the market sell from this level? What made the market just drop at the zone? Okay, Now, if the market was just over here, for example, right? Why did the market start selling here? And is it something that I have to be concerned about, that when we start approaching that level, that we could potentially sell off again? Okay, so now we look to the left-hand side and we can see this market was previous demand before. Okay, this market was strong previous demand before and supply. Okay, so now we know it holds significance. So now when the market approaches that zone, we are now expecting that the market is going to drop. Okay, and if eventually the market takes out that previous supply, okay, what will it use it as?
As a demand.
As a demand. Okay, so slowly but surely, at this point, what are they doing here, guys? What are they doing at this point? Distributing sell orders. Okay, but at the same time, can you see that at this point, they are accumulating buy orders? So remember what I said to you when I showed you that diagram. I said what they're going to do between the supply and demand zone is they just have to see who's stronger, who has more influence over moving price. Okay, and the people that have more influence are the people with enough money to put more orders in. Okay, so there can be banks that are selling and other banks that are buying here, but it all really depends on how many banks are selling at this point, how many banks are buying at this point, and who has the most money. Okay, and that's what's going to move the market. That's why the market moves off of supply and demand. And you can see why was this inducement, okay, why was this inducement up top here? Why were these sellers being induced into the market? How did we know that? How did we know that, guys? Because structure told us, okay? Structure changed character. Structure broke structure, okay? So structure told us that we would respect the demand, and the supply was just inducement. You with me?
You need to make notes on that.
Okay, you guys make a note on that. Make a note on that, okay? Just say, write this note down. If structure shows me my direction, I need to align my supply and demand with that. In other words, if structure shows me that it's bullish, then I'm looking for demand to buy. Okay? If structure shows me that it's taking out lows and it's bearish, then I'm looking for supply to sell.
Just repeat that for the sake of taking note, Ali.
No problem. So if structure tells me that we're taking out highs, if structure tells me that we're bullish, then we're looking for demand zones. And if structure tells me that we're bearish, we're looking for supply zones. Simple, simple, simple. While doing the 100 Rand challenge, wouldn't it be better to trade from supply and from high time frame and then drop to lower time frame? Yes, 100%. That's what you guys are going to do now. Exactly that. Sorry, somebody else had a question.
Was it possible if price, you see the supply there by the break of structure, the first break of structure? Not that one, this one, yes.
Yeah.
And then price retraced back. Was it possible that price would react from that supply to demand zone? That one, yes.
This one.
Yes, and went up.
It definitely has the potential, but remember now you're still looking for the same things at those supply and demand zones. Hey, so you're still looking for maybe your lower time frame change of character, maybe your lower time frame confirmations of breaks of structure in order to give you that confirmation. So also, if we go to a smaller time frame, let me just show you here quick. If we go to a smaller time frame, why didn't they respect this level here? Okay, we had liquidity of equal lows there. And if the market has a big movement, right, that breaks structure, most of the time what they like to do is they come to the extreme one. Okay, so you can see the market created the trend line. The market then came, liquidated the trend line, got all of these buyers, every single one of them were taken out, except for who? Who's here? Who's involved here?
Banks.
The bank. So they can't take themselves out. So you see why when we talk of the extreme one, why the extreme one is important is because they are involved there. So they will never take themselves out. But what we will get into in intermediate phase with regards to order blocks, imbalance, etc., as to why they come back to that extreme one. Okay, we will still get into that. I'm not going to get into it today, but you can see what they'll do. They might end up taking out this demand because they need more liquidity and then still using that demand. Eventually, you can see. It all really
Okay, Ali,
on liquidity.
I don't want to take a
yes.
shortcut of this note. So you said, you remember when you said we must take note of what the thing about the note, when you say, if structure shows me the direction, then I need to align with something. Then when you repeated it again, you said, if structure shows me the bullish what. So there, I need you to repeat, if you can do it for me, please, just in a slow motion. Right?
Okay, so for the last time, if structure is bullish, you're
Yes.
looking for a demand zone.
Thank you.
And if structure is bearish, you're looking for a supply zone.
So if
Thank
the
you.
structure is bullish, it's not and it's not respecting demand zones, is it the possibility the price might break, the structure might break if it's not respecting demand zones? Like it's not reacting at any demand zone, it's just going
Yes,
through.
it might be coming for the extreme one, like you can see. But most of the time, when the market has enough momentum to break structure, you must understand why it should respect that zone is because there are banks getting involved there. So if it doesn't respect that zone, then there's obviously not enough demand and it will use that zone most likely as supply.
So we do look at the momentum or at the move that happened on that supply zone, on that demand zone, to determine if the banks are involved or not.
Yeah, exactly. You look where did it originate from? Okay, where did it originate from? Okay. Then I'm getting some messages from somebody asking me about liquidity. Pumla, I will post the notes with regards to liquidity. Liquidity is money in the market, aka people that were buying here, they come and collect that liquidity. Okay, so if you missed the intro, liquidity comes in different forms, but I will post the notes on the group so that you can just see. Liquidity lays below equal lows or above equal highs. Okay, there's liquidity laying above there and below them. But that's basically liquidity is money in the market. The market is just coming to collect that money before moving in its direction.
So
okay,
just one question, just one question, please.
No problem.
I just want to confirm. I just want to combine everything that we have learned so far with this that we're currently learning. So basically, if the market is bullish, you're going to look for a demand zone in the discount level.
Correct.
And if the market is bearish, we're looking for supply zone on the premium level.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, let's say we're getting.
Hold on, let him finish.
Let's say we're getting the supply zone before the market reaches the premium. So should we consider that supply zone as well?
That is where inducement is going to take place.
Oh, okay.
See,
Okay,